The newly appointed acting chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Amina Zakari, says that the commission needs to improve on areas where it failed during the last elections. Well, the acting chairman was speaking after she assumed office today, following the exit of Professor Attahiri Jega, who completed his tenure as chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission on the 30th of June. She says even with the exit of some national commissioners, the commission should be able to deliver on its mandate.
Well, challenges cannot be envisaged because they come as the need arises. So we will tackle them as they come. We take it a day at a time and then try to sort out the administrative issues and then the major electoral issues, which a lot has been put into, and we just need to improve where INEC seem to have erred or failed during the last election. But basically, half of the recs are on seat and half of the commissioners are on seat. We should be able to deliver the best we can, pending when a new commission will be inaugurated.
Meanwhile, the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has rejected the appointment of Mrs. Amina Zakari as the acting national chairman of INEC. While rejecting the appointment of Mrs. Zakari, the PDP alleged that the new acting boss of the electoral body is too close to the presidency. The National Publicity Secretary of the party, Mr. Olisa Metu, says that his party would want the acting chairman of the commission to state her alleged closeness to the presidency and one of the governors of the All Progressives Congress from the Northwest. The head of the Civil Service of the Federation, Mr. Danladi Kifasi, who conveyed Zakari's appointment in a letter, said that the appointment was with effect from 30th of June 2015 until the appointment of a substantive chairman. But before her appointment was announced, Professor Jega had handed over to Ambassador Muhammad Wali, a national commissioner of the commission from Sokoto State.
We have seen nepotism being involved in the choice of appointments. Now we are in court with APC, and there's the issue of electoral tribunal and tendering of documents in the custody of APC. And Professor Jega, in his wisdom, being fair-minded, being open, being that APC have celebrated him as conducting a transparent election, chose someone to hand over to. We ask, if they trust Professor Jega to conduct a national election, they do not trust him to know who can hold over onto it. But instead, it was reversed and handed over to someone whose tenure is ending in 3 weeks. And she's now appointed to hold office until a substantive one has been appointed. Did she come with a hidden agenda? Has she been given a script to come and play? These are the questions, and this is why we have rejected it. It is not transparent. We reject it that on account of what she did in the last election, her closeness to the presidency, her acts in favor of APC, manifest bias in favor of APC, it is setting us back.
The PDP spokesman Olisa Metu. Meanwhile, the presidency is, however, not agreeing with the comments coming from the PDP. A statement issued by the presidency says that the President Buhari did not overrule Professor Attahiri Jega in appointing Mrs. Amina Zakari as the acting INEC chairman, as the PDP spokesman Mr. Metu alleged. The presidency says that Professor Jega's reported handing over to another commissioner cannot be construed as an appointment because only the president has the constitutional authority, which he exercised to appoint Mrs. Zakari as acting chairman of INEC. The statement adds that, contrary to Metu's allegations, President Muhammad Buhari's appointment of Hajja Zakari as acting INEC chairman was based temporarily on merits. Her vast experience in the internal operations of INEC and the president's commitment to affirmative actions in support of gender equality, because according to the presidency, apart from being fully qualified for the position, Zakari was the only woman amongst the 6 commissioners considered. Meanwhile, the President's meeting members of the two factions of the House of Representatives in Abuja, Nigeria's Federal Capital Territory. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Yakubu Dogara, has led members of the group, while Honorable Femi Amina has led lawmakers that are loyal to him to the meeting, which is holding at the First Lady's Conference Room. Well, this is the first time that the President will be meeting any of the leaders of the National Assembly since Dogara and the President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, emerged. We will, of course, furnish you with more details as they unfold. Now, Koko Biagbeni is one of the oldest communities in Baramatu Kingdom in Delta State. Apart from the redundant power and community experience that we have seen in there in recent time, there's been also crude oil deposits in large quantities in that place. Well, water seems to be a problem for the community there, as well as electricity supply. Well, this report takes a look at what life is like in the Creek Island.
Now you're talking. Through open seas and creaky waterways, we journey to visit one of Jones Creek communities, Koko Diagbene Town in Baramatu Kingdom, Warri Southwest local government area of Delta State. On arrival, we meet Mrs. Victoria Legbe, an indigene of Ondo State, who's been living with her husband and kids here for over 13 years. When we turn on the water taps, nothing comes out. In the town, more revelations emerge about the daily life of the inhabitants of this creaky Ijo island. According to the villagers, wells such as this serve as the only source of safe drinking water. These youths at a small drinking spot during work hours blame joblessness for their idle gathering.
If you now say you wanted to drink water, it's very difficult for us to give you water to drink. But the kind of water we are drinking, those are the reason why you can even see that all these roots, this is root. We just use ogogoro and some bitter leaf to put like this, so that we use it to drink. By saying that, well, all those water and the rest, because of the kind of sickness we are passing through. So whether this one can sustain our life, we didn't know, because there is no clinics.
Poverty and despair boldly written on the faces of these children, adults and the elderly ones alike, in a land where fishing used to be the major occupation. Mr. Josiah Tamiyo, a fisherman, is filled with lamentation now.
Why at our river? Look for fish, no fish. See my net there. I think when I see all those net with food there. See net. So nothing there. Hungry won't keep me forever. All my boat them, don't destroy. How to buy boat now, wala. So I don't know what to do. As on our council, federal government not they look anything. Why we die if they not they care. Say make they die, so far make they see money short for that side.
Even small business owners have a similar tale to tell.
Many people now worry that they run, they go do their work for worry. But see no light too. Not be light. You know they feed the iron my clothes safe. If you sew and finish, you know the girl light stay the iron now. I'm not going to sew clothes too.
Bad as the condition may be, someone like Gloria Copra still has to look good. But she says the cost of looking good comes in folds.
I worry I will go. I can pay transport, go worry.
From here to worry.
2,000 naira. Coming back 2,000 naira. So I can go wash the enter dryer. After I enter dryer finish, I can come to make the air dey solid.
Mr. Sheriff Mulade is the chairman of Koko Diagbene Community Development Council. He expresses the hope that his town could smile again if the legislature takes certain steps.
So our environment has been destroyed by the multinationals operating in our area. And the worst of it all, government pay lip service to these environmental laws. I believe Nigeria have some of the best environmental laws in Africa, if not the whole world. But government pay lip service to all. Well, I think we want to commend the National Assembly for passing that bill in the first place. 2, the bottlenecks that led to the delayed passage of that bill, we were highly disappointed. But however, today that bill has been passed in a way.
Today may not be as good as the people of Koko-Diagbenen wish, but until all they hope for comes to life, they can only but try to keep hope alive.
Now you're talking. Well, we're moving over to business news now, and I'm being joined by Adeshawa Josh in just a moment.
First Bank. You first.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Business News. I am Adeshawa Josh. Nigeria's Purchasing Managers Index of Manufacturing Activities was back in positive territory in June, showing a 56-point reading, well above the 49.4 level in May and the strongest level it recorded since February 2014. A new report released today by the investment and securities research firm FBN Capital shows a marked recovery in industrial operations for medium and large-sized Nigerian companies in terms of new orders and output. The report, however, says small companies gave generally negative responses to the manufacturing survey, indicating challenges of access to regular supplies of power and fuel, which did not improve greatly last month. Also, calm has returned to most commercial banks across the country following the extension of the deadline for the bank verification number by the Central Bank of Nigeria. Meanwhile, there have been mixed reactions to the extension of the deadline. Channel's business news correspondent, Temple Ashaju, reports. I'll bring you that report as soon as we can. The Bears staged a comeback today at the Nigerian equities market as the all-share index shed gains from previous trading session to close at 32,863.43 points. Christy Cole has the details.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Markets Report. Nigeria's equities market reversed its two-day rally, closing its first trading session of the third quarter in the red, losing 1.77% to bring the all-share index to 32,863.43 points. Leading the decline as Spark is Dangote Cement, which share price dropped 8 naira. Nestle lost 7 naira, while Mobile share price is down 5 naira. At the gainers corner, 7-Up share price is up 6 naira 90 kobo. WAPCO appreciated a naira and a kobo, while Presco shares gained 1 naira. For the third consecutive session, the banks traded the most volumes. Access Bank sold 71 million units, Zenith Bank traded 63.6 million shares, and UBA sold 38 million units. By the close of session, 323.5 million shares had been exchanged for 4.7 billion naira in 4,090 deals. And that's the Stock Markets Report. I am Christy Cole.
Thank you, Christy. We understand that the Central Bank of Nigeria has extended the deadline for the bank verification number. Well, there have been mixed reactions to the extension of that deadline. And now, Channel's business news correspondent, Temple Ashaju, reports.
24 hours after the last-minute rush for the bank verification number registration, most banking halls visited are now devoid of the crowds witnessed on the initial deadline of June the 30th for the exercise. This is courtesy of the Central Bank's decision to extend the program by 4 months.
I passed through one or two or three banks yesterday. It was very rowdy. The crowd I saw at the front, I was so surprised. So the extension is okay.
So me, I think it's okay because the process is very slow. Like I came yesterday now, I was to come back today again. Yet I'm still on the queue. I was getting number 4 yesterday, today again number 4, and I'm still there again.
I've not done it because I've been a bit busy.
But now there's an extension.
I've done it partially, but I've not completed it.
Why haven't you completed it?
Because I've been busy. I will still complete it.
Okay, now there's an extension till October. What do you make of that? Will you get it done before October 31st?
Let me see how it goes.
According to bank's records, just a little above 14 million accounts are currently BVN compliant. Bank customers, however, complained of the lack of adequate awareness on the exercise, which led to the last-minute rush on Tuesday.
Well, it's okay because some people, they've not even heard about it, and some, they heard about it, but they were not chanced, so it's okay.
Now, it shouldn't be a kind of suspension something. Like if a bank want to actually capture all these things, if you are withdrawing, they should ask you, have you done your BVN? They should do it pari passu with their daily transaction. That is how they can do it. Not this thing is going to close maybe in a week's time or 2 weeks' time, or maybe by tomorrow people will be rushing.
It should be a continuous registration. It should not stop. Are you saying if I open an account tomorrow, I won't register? Are you saying a child of 12, 13 that I'm opening an account for will not register? It should be a continuous exercise. There should be no time limit on it, my brother.
According to data, the Nigerian banking system currently has 76 million accounts. If 14 million accounts are currently BVN compliant, the question is, will the next 4 months be enough to register the 62 million others? From Broad Street in Lagos Island, Nigeria, Temple Ashaju, Channels Business News.
Well, that'll be all on Business News tonight. The news at 10 continues in a moment.
First Bank. You first.
Next on the news at 10, tennis star Segun Toriola set sight on history by playing for the 7th time in the Olympics. That's in sports news. Stay with us.